Wow. Well, Dan, I was listening to you, and we do like to go to bed early in Davie County. Look, I just want to thank my friend Dan Bishop. You know, Dan, you were my first endorsement, and I'm still honored to have your support. Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson, you are a dear friend, and your support is humbling. I can't wait to watch you achieve even more in this great state of North Carolina. Well, the psalmist tells us, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His steadfast love endures forever. And North Carolina, we certainly do give him thanks tonight. Yeah. So I want to begin by thanking my wonderful wife, Amy Kate, for her love, for encouragement, and for her road miles, for her hard work, and for giving us and blessing us 3 fantastic kids, Joshua, Catherine, and Macy. Well, you all have kept this primary fun, and you've kept me grounded, because when I get home, I get reminded that there are still dishes to do and trash to take out. So I'm eternally thankful that God has blessed me with such an amazing family. And that includes you, Mom and Dad. That includes my brothers and their wives, and my nephews and nieces and cousins and extended family. Many are here tonight. And I want to thank my friends and my neighbors, especially those who have known me for a long time. It's a joy to look around this room and to see so many familiar faces here tonight. We've always stood by each other, and I want you to know I treasure our friendships. I want to thank my campaign team and all the work of our volunteers and Bud crew chiefs in all 100 counties. Because without your hard work, we would not be here tonight. And friends, I want to thank President Donald J. Trump and his entire family, including Laura Trump, who is a native North Carolinian with a powerful voice of her own. She and the president helped me back in 2018 when Nancy Pelosi targeted me in a tough Republican district. And then in 2020, we worked together to elect other Republicans up and down the ballot and across our state. So when President Trump endorsed me last year, he said, Ted, I'm endorsing you because you never wavered on America First policies. That America First agenda, it led to historic job growth, wage growth, and prosperity for all Americans. And I pledge to my fellow North Carolinians, I will never waver when it comes to fighting for the forgotten men and women in this state and in this country. Now, you've often heard me say that primaries are awkward moments. And yes, friends, they really are. Because you have to run against people that you might have supported in another setting, in another day, in another race. But I want to take a moment, and I want to recognize those men and women right now. Governor Pat McCrory, I thank you for your service to our state as governor and for your time as mayor of Charlotte. You made Charlotte better, and you made North Carolina better. So thank you. Congressman Mark Walker, please, give him a hand. Congressman Mark Walker, you and Kelly were the first ones that Amy Kate and I reached out to in 2016 before I was ever sworn into office. The 4 of us had dinner not too far from here, and so I want to thank you for your early help. Your loyal supporters will be critical to helping us take back the U.S. Senate. And I want to humbly ask for their prayers, for their support, and for their vote this fall. To Marjorie Eastman, I thank you and your husband for your service to our country. Your commitment to citizen service, it is a model for us all. You know, there were 14 Republican ballots that put their name forward in this primary, and I'm absolutely honored to be the Republican nominee. But now, we need to pull together, and we need to look to the real race in November. So I was glad to see that many of the events that we all participated in, each one of us took a unity pledge, and we raised our hand to support the eventual winner of this primary. And that sends a clear message to the Democrats that this party is united and is poised to take back the Senate and to save this country. Early on in this campaign, I told my team that I wanted to visit each and every one of our state's 100 counties, not just the ones with the highest populations or with the big TV markets. Friends, I've just got a view of politics that a candidate needs to look voters in the eye and ask them for their vote. So that's what we did. Now, we got a little criticism, but our 100 county tour, it made me a better candidate and helped me fall deeper in love with the old North State. In every county I visited, I heard stories of high grocery costs, skyrocketing fuel prices, shortages of basic necessities like infant formula. I heard stories of families that have been ripped apart by deadly drugs like fentanyl. We know that fentanyl and other drugs came across a chaotic and open southern border. I heard about crime waves that turned safe neighborhoods into deadly battlefields. My friends, I'm sure all that chaos is completely unacceptable to you, and I want you to know that it is completely unacceptable to me. My opponent, Cheri Beasley, she doesn't seem to have any problem with Joe Biden's agenda. So let's be clear. Cheri Beasley is the most radical liberal candidate to ever run for U.S. Senate here in North Carolina. So if we send her to Washington, she would enable every element of Joe Biden's agenda. And if we think it's bad now, it's only going to get worse with Cheri Beasley in the U.S. Senate. Now, $5,200 may not sound like a lot of money to Chuck Schumer. It may not sound like a lot of money to Joe Biden or to Cheri Beasley, but that's a lot of money to most folks here in North Carolina. And $5,200 is how much extra the working families in our state have to pay this year to the Biden-Beasley inflation. And that's what voters are going to be thinking about when they go to vote in November. Voters here in North Carolina, they're going to be thinking about the chaos at our southern border. And some folks will say, well, you're not a border state, so why do you even care? Friends, sheriffs, law enforcement from all across this great state have told me that every single county here in North Carolina is a border county because of the Biden-Beasley lawless open border agenda. Yeah. Deadly drugs are flooding in, human trafficking is increasing, and the cartels are trying to gain even more control of our borders. It's gotten so bad that even my Democrat opponent is talking about it, but she's not holding Joe Biden accountable for his failures. And she won't hold him accountable in the U.S. Senate either. That's why working families are going to send a conservative fighter to hold Joe Biden accountable in November. Well, we got an amazing crowd here tonight, and I bet some of you all drove from a pretty long ways. This is a big state, isn't it? Anybody fill up their gas tanks today or this week? Oh, I hear you. So let's talk about gas prices. One of the first things Joe Biden did as president was to shut down domestic energy. And now we pay some of the highest fuel prices in history. Because of the Biden-Beasley agenda, farmers are facing skyrocketing input prices, and that raises prices for everyone trying to put food on the dining room table. Ladies and gentlemen, under Joe Biden, America is woke and broke. And Cheri Beasley would be nothing more than a rubber stamp for everything that is wrong with Joe Biden's woke and broke policies. So, we need to put the brakes on this agenda for the sake of hardworking North Carolinians, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm Ted Budd. I'm a small businessman. I'm a conservative fighter. I'm America First, and I am honored to be your Republican nominee for the United States Senate. God bless you. And may God bless the United States of America.